CATV is proudly presented by Toyota.
Graham Swan had some comments about the English team, saying they had their heads up their backsides. What do you make of that, and do you agree?
That's the thing. It's their change rooms, isn't it? It's not our change rooms. All I can speak for is us. And I know one thing that, obviously we're all good mates in our rooms. We're happy about the way we're going. And like I said, they're the friendships that you create through a career that you're gonna have for your life. And we're happy with how we're going. But yeah, we're just obviously preparing for this Test match. We're in a good place, but yeah, we don't want to let up.
Victorian Boxing Day Test. Does it get any better?
No, it doesn't. I think it doesn't matter if you're Victorian or from any other state. That this is a big Test match. But yeah, they're predicting a record crowd, which would be nice. But yeah, it's just nice to run out there. You hear them chanting, "He's a Victorian," all that type of thing. It does give you a bit of a pep up and a bit of a boost. So it's looking forward to getting out there. It is a great place to play.
Sid's Craig McDermott this morning tweeted and then told us that he thought the Australian bowling attack was the best in the world. You guys haven't come up against South Africa yet. They've got a pretty handy attack themselves. I mean, is that something that you guys are going over to the Republic to prove that you are the best?
Oh, we've still got a couple of Test matches to go, so we've still got a bit of time before we head off over there. But I guess we're just in a good place at the moment. We've been striving for a long time as a bowling unit to get that consistency right and to be able to get complete innings together. And I think that's what we've worked towards. And this series has shown that that we've been able to obviously bowl teams out quite quickly, give our batters a big chance, and be able to put a lot of pressure on the opposition. And I think we're definitely in a position that we are bowling well. I think everyone from Mitchell down to myself and Rhino to Lino, that we're all performing well. We're all playing our role, and we've always been about partnerships with bat or ball. And I think with the ball at the moment, that this is probably the best lineup I've played in, where we've been able to stick it together and get everything right and win Test matches. So I think at the moment this is probably it's definitely the best lineup that I've ever played in.
Do you think you are the best?
Sorry, everyone just talks about batting in partnerships, bowling in partnerships. And obviously, when you talk about that, you're meaning just building pressure so that wickets come for whoever. But is there more to it than that? Is there when you guys talk of bowling in partnerships, is there anything more refined than that you go into?
No, I think everyone knows it's a pretty simple game, cricket. I think it's when you try and complicate it too much, that's when you fall into those traps and you have a bit of trouble. It is all about building pressure. It's about being consistent, and by that we just mean bowling line and length, being able to build maidens. And I think that's one of our big KPIs is building maidens. And it's a known fact that you build enough maidens on opposition, especially back-to-back maidens, that you generate wickets, and that's what we're all about. And I think it has shown at different stages throughout this series that when we've been able to do that consistently, that we've got consistent wickets, whether not just one wicket, but we've been able to get a big haul and get a bit of a collapse going. And I think that's just generated all the pressure that everyone's building from either end.
Just two questions. First of all, do you think you're a member of the best attack in the world at the moment, Peter?
We're up there, aren't we? We're winning Test matches. We're bowling well. We're bowling teams out. But it's on the back of obviously the batters. The batters have set. I think it was a record for 503 consecutive tests in a row that the opposition had to chase. So it does make it a lot easier for the bowling unit as well. But I think just the combination at the moment with batters and bowlers, that we're just playing good, positive cricket and being consistent at it. I think there's been in the past that we've been able to win the odd session but then fall away for the rest of the match. But I think this series, it's just the way we've been able to win pretty much nearly every session throughout this whole series so far. And we want to continue to do that. We don't want to let up now. We want to obviously keep pushing and finish strong here Boxing Day and then move on to Sydney.
You speak of how special it is to play on Boxing Day, and you also speak of how there were a lot of bad times before this winning Ashes series. How low a moment was it day one of the last Boxing Day Ashes test? You get blown out of the water for 98 and by stumps England and none for 157, and you were in the midst of that.
Yeah, well, I think you look at Brisbane. We bowled in the second innings in the last Ashes series, and then with this Ashes series, we smacked them up there. So the same thing happened in Adelaide. We're out there bowling, and we won that Test match. So I don't think you can't go on what's happened in the past Test matches. It's about going on what's going on now, and The wicket looks in good nick. I think this, like I said, this bowling attack is the best attack that I've played with in the Test side throughout my career, and the batters are in superb form. So I think we're a lot more complete side than we probably were back then, and we're playing a lot more consistent cricket. So I think we're in a very good position to obviously, keep pushing forward and keep pushing for this obviously Test win.
Personnel-wise, I mean, the attack's fairly similar to some of the attacks you've played in the past. What's been the difference? Just maturity, or? Yeah,
I think a bit of maturity. I guess a lot to do with it. Like we always speak about, is the obviously building the pressure, but the consistency. That's what it comes down to. I think over the years that we just haven't been able to consistently build partnerships from either end, bowl consistent lines and lengths and that type of thing. So I think that's where we've got it drummed into us now, that we know that if we can do that for long periods of time, that we'll get the results, and that's happening. So I think it's always nice when the side isn't changing. I think that gives the boys a lot of confidence that when you're playing well and you're winning Test matches, the side doesn't change. So blokes aren't worried about getting the axe or worrying about that next game, worrying about having to get that 5-wicket haul or make that 100 runs. That's every contribution counts, and I think that's what's happening with this side at the moment.
The rotation as well, I guess, if you're knocking them over in 80 overs instead of 180.
Yeah, it makes it good, doesn't it? Everyone's feeling fresh, and no, that's right. It's at the end of the day, it's just about picking the best side, and if you keep winning in good fashion and everyone's pulling up well, that you don't have to worry about anything like that.
Say it's the best attack you've played in. Is it also the best depth when you think about the fact that Stark, Pattinson, Cummins, Bird, they're all still on the way back from injury?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's that's a good thing for Australian cricket. That's what it comes down to. I think it's just a positive for everything that we know what Starkey and Patto can do at the Test level. We saw Jackson Bird have his first game back, even though it was 2020, but just how he looked bowling the other night was it was a good sight to see. And so I think those are the positives. We got Doug and Coults on touring around with this group at the moment just to help out, and so I think it's a massive depth, and that's nice, but we just got to keep performing, and I think at the moment, we're going well, we're looking good, feeling good, and that's what it's all about. We just got to keep winning.
Peter, I know you don't want to kick them when they're down, and we thank you for that. But are you surprised? Is your team surprised by how quickly this England team has unravelled after so much recent success? Because we're pretty shocked about it. What do you think about it?
No, it's hard to say. At the end of the day, they can't take credit away from the way we've played. I think you're looking in England. It was 3-0 scoreline, but it wasn't as comprehensive as it probably looks as 3-0. Compare that 3-0 to this 3-0. It's a total difference. And I think there's a lot of credit's got to go to the way we've played. We've been ruthless. We're out in the field. Our batters are stuck in. We've had our batting collapses, but blokes have been able to dig in and build that partnership and build that total, and to set the opposition 3 games in a row, 500 the chase in that last innings, never been done before. That shows how competitive and how switched on we are as a unit, and I think that's just I think that's the big factor in this whole thing is we haven't given them anything to jump on the back of, and I think that's obviously well done to the rest of us as a team, and obviously our staff and everything like that. Everyone involved has got us in a good place, and we're performing to our best ability, and that's what's causing the problems. I don't think there's not much we can do about playing good cricket, is there?